Welcome back, student. In this new lecture, this is lecture number 3, we are going to study about the time period of revolution, frequency, and angular acceleration. All these topics we are going to discuss in this particular lecture number 3. Okay, so let's start the video. First of all, we are going to study what is time period of revolution in circular motion. Okay, time period. See, what is this particular heading means? Time period means the time taken for one complete revolution in a circular path by an object. Suppose an object is moving in a circular path, so the time taken to complete one complete revolution will be called as time period of revolution. Like this one. So this is a circle. This is the radius r. If a particle starts from here and moves in anti-clockwise direction and comes to here, the time taken to complete such a complete one revolution will be called as time period. Okay. Definition: the time taken to complete one revolution by an object in a circular path is called its time period. Is denoted by capital T. Okay, it is measured in second or hour or minute, whatever your choice is yours. But the time to complete one complete revolution in a circular path is called time period. Clear? Then comes your frequency. F. Frequency of revolution. What is this? Now, this particular concept means the frequency will be defined as the number of complete revolutions by an object moving in a circular path in unit time. Okay, the total number of complete revolution carried out by an object moving in a circular path in unit time. You can say in 1 second or 1 minute, whatever. The complete revolution, how many number of complete revolution will be carried out by an object revolving in a circular path will be called its frequency. So if F is the number of complete revolution in 1 second, then the time taken for one complete revolution will be 1 by f. This implies T is equals to 1 by f. This is the relationship between time period and frequency. If in 1 second, as per the definition, in unit time, number of complete revolution will be called as frequency. If f is the number of complete revolution in 1 second, means in unit time, then for one complete revolution, what will be the time taken? Now reciprocal of 1 by f. This means, but we know that the time taken for one complete revolution is called time period T. So this means this is the time taken for one complete revolution. So T will be equal to 1 by f. Frequency is measured. It is measured in second inverse or hertz. Or sometimes it is called as cycles per second. Okay, so it is the concept you need for measuring frequency. This is the concept of time period and frequency in circular motion. Clear? I hope we all have understood this one. Now let's discuss what is angular acceleration. And before going to say about angular acceleration, let me tell you another relationship between frequency, time period, and angular velocity. It is most important in this particular video. Let me discuss that one. In conclusion, we can say that the relationship between frequency, time period, and angular velocity. We know angular velocity omega equals to angular displacement by time period. But this is the concept. Okay, for one complete revolution, theta will be equal to, for one complete revolution, theta will be equal to 2 pi. So this is so time. Okay, theta by t. For one complete revolution, theta will be equal to time period, and t will be equal to capital T, time period. This will be the total complete angle, 2 pi. Okay. So this implies omega is equals to 2 pi by t. I hope you are getting this one. Omega to 2 pi by t. Or I can write this one 2 pi into 1 by t, or this is equal to 2 pi into f. This is one relationship. Or omega equals to 2 pi f. Since t equals to 1 by f, this implies f equals to 1 by t. I hope this is the relationship between omega, means angular velocity, time period, and frequency. Clear? So this is the concept. Now let us discuss what is angular acceleration, and we'll try to find the relationship between angular acceleration and linear acceleration, just like we have already done in the lecture number 1 and 2, just like that. So what is the concept of angular acceleration? Angular acceleration, same as that of the angular displacement and angular velocity that we have already discussed. What is angular acceleration? This is the rate of change of angular velocity. Simple definition: the time rate of change of angular velocity by an object moving in a circular path will be called as angular acceleration. So let's define this one. The time rate of change of angular velocity by an object moving in a circular path is called its angular acceleration. Okay. So this is the basic definition of angular acceleration. Suppose now take an example. An object is moving at a certain instant of time in the angular circular path, that is having angular velocity omega 1 or omega a, and at some later time the object is having an angular velocity omega 2 or omega b. If a and b are two positions, like that. So then the average angular acceleration will be defined as the rate of change of angular velocity by the time taken, the time period for which the angular velocity has been changed. Clear? So we can write that average angular acceleration alpha average equals to change in angular velocity by time taken for the change. This will be equal to omega 2 minus omega 1 by t2 minus t1. This is equal to delta omega by delta t. So this is the formula or mathematical expression for average angular acceleration, which will be equal to the change in angular velocity and the corresponding time required for that change in angular velocity. So we can also define this instantaneous angular velocity. This is the average angular acceleration, and we can also define instantaneous angular acceleration. Instantaneous angular acceleration. Angular acceleration. And what will be the definition? It is defined as the angular acceleration at any particular instant of time or at any particular position during the circular motion will be called as the instantaneous angular acceleration. Okay. So it is defined as the acceleration during the circular motion at any particular instant of time. We can say it's small instant of time dt, infinitely small change in time dt, or at any particular position or at any particular position during the circular motion. Okay, so it will be defined as mathematically alpha will be equal to limit del t tends to 0 del omega by del t is equals to d omega by dt. So this is the complete relationship or mathematical form expression for instantaneous angular acceleration. We know that we can also define in alpha in terms of theta, that is we know that omega equals to d theta by dt. This implies alpha equals to d omega by dt or equals to d by dt of d theta by dt. This will be equal to d square theta by dt square. It is another expression in terms of angular displacement of instantaneous angular acceleration. I hope you all are getting this one. So this is the very concept. So take a look at it. Okay, this is the very concept of angular acceleration, instant angular acceleration and average angular acceleration. Now, what are the units and dimensions or like that things of this angular acceleration? So let's see this one. It is measured by radian per second square. Okay, this is the very concept practical unit for measuring angular acceleration. And dimension will be how much? Dimension of alpha will be equals to m0 L0 t to the power minus 2, because as displacement, angular displacement has time, angular displacement has no angular dimension. Angular velocity is having a dimension equal to t to the minus 1. Similarly, as it is second square, so it will have a dimension of m0 L0 t to the power minus 2. So this is the very concept. Now the direction of alpha is same as that of change in angular velocity delta omega, and given by the right hand curve as already discussed in the previous video. So let us discuss about the relationship between angular acceleration and angular linear acceleration. Okay, so till now we have discussed about angular acceleration, then its unit dimension or that thing, and also we have discussed the relationship between frequency, time period and angular velocity. So now start discussing about angular acceleration and linear acceleration. Okay, so this will be the heading: relationship between alpha and a, where alpha is the angular acceleration and a is the linear acceleration. So before going to do that, let us draw a circular path along which the particle is moving. Okay, let this will be the center. At some time t equals t1, the particle at b point a1 with radius r having angular velocity omega1 and linear velocity v1. Let at some later time t2, the particle be at small point B with radius r same with linear velocity v2 and angular velocity omega 2. Okay. So this is the concentration of the angle at theta with the angular displacement. So if an object is moving anticlockwise direction and at point t at time t1 the object is at A with linear velocity v1 and angular velocity omega 1, and some later time t2 the object is at point B with linear velocity v2 and angular velocity omega 2, then we can say that v1 will be equals to r omega 1 and v2 will be equal to r omega 2. By definition, okay, by definition, alpha angular acceleration alpha is equals to omega 2 minus omega 1 by t2 minus t1, the change in angular velocity by the time taken for that change. So this also can be written as v2 by r minus v1 by r divided by t2 minus t1. Okay, or this implies alpha is equals to 1 by r v2 by v1 v2 minus v1 sorry t2 minus t1. Okay, or this implies alpha is equals to a by r because change in linear velocity for that the change in linear velocity divided by the time taken for that change will be equal to linear acceleration a. So this implies alpha equals to a by r or a equals to r alpha. It is in scalar form. Okay, in scalar form. Or this implies alpha a vector equals to alpha vector cross r vector. This is in vector form as per right hand rule. So linear acceleration a will be equal to r into alpha, or a vector equals to alpha cross r vector. Okay, this is the complete relationship between linear acceleration and angular acceleration. The next topics will be discussed in the next video. Till then, thank you.